Hello everyone, this is Ty Slatter and welcome to a very special edition of Real Talk with Ty, and I am here with the one and only Scoob Stacks, live from Stone Street Studios. You doing, brother?
I'm done. It's good to see you, man.
It's a long
Been a
time,
minute.
long time. Hello, where do I begin? I know you want us to recap from the last interview. That's what you mentioned about a recap. Did you
Yeah,
want
man. The last one I remember us doing was it has to be 2016 for the
Body and
Body and
Soul
Soul.
Radio. Oh man, take it back. Ah,
I think that was like my
man.
sixth or seventh interview. Just my 22nd. This is it. So I'm like, sheesh, man. This
You got to get us up to speed, man. Where you been, man?
in here, mainly,
Okay.
mainly in here. Studios around the country. From then to now, like
Okay.
it's crazy how many places that I've been, but mainly the last year and a half, 2 years have been here at Stone Tree. And then my studio I built up at Fort Wayne, Muddy Alumni Studios. And up until then, it was Atlanta, LA, Vegas, AZ, Florida, everywhere, man. Just trying to spread the sound and just keep it going.
I think the last time I seen you in person before you made your trek across the country was 313 Wabash with the Wabash studio. That's the last time I think we worked together before you took off.
I was like, yep, that was my last. Like,
Was
dang, I forgot about that. I went over there for that last week and got.
It was brief. It was real brief. That water like maybe twice before you left.
That was lit. That's my dog, man. Mitch. Shout out Mitch. Yeah, that's still my dude. I need to hit him up, see how he doing, man. But it was just random. I'm like, man, I hadn't seen and heard of Wabash, but I had never been over there. But he just hit me up with open arms, like, man, just pull up and just play some beats. Like, it's a couple artists that be coming over to show stuff anyway. So, damn, I forgot about that. That was like,
That was the last time I think I saw you in person, and then we just been keeping in touch, through the socials.
and that's really the main thing that I like appreciate the most is like people I know over a long time and still
Yeah.
making sure that we stay connected because the algorithm's so fucked up. You be like, man,
Get lost in the sauce.
I see people I know. I'm like, yeah, man, that's my boy, man. Go ahead, go crazy, man. Because it's like I barely get to see people I really know like that. Honestly, it's how they got their stuff shipped around. I'm getting stuff from 3 days ago today. I'm like, man, this what happened. You don't get on Instagram 2 3 days. They just
You get your fit. This is what happened while you were gone.
all I seen was LeBron today. It was like, okay, it's Brown's birthday.
My birthday. Yeah, absolutely. Not to get too carried away with birthdays and celebrations. Let the world know that doesn't know your story. How did Scoob Stacks get to Indy?
Uh,
Where it all began for you? Cause we gotta tell the whole story. Cause our first interview, I don't remember how in depth we went. 'Cause that was some years ago, but I know Fort Wayne is home for you. Not saying that Indianapolis not home for you, but it's definitely home.
yeah.
But tell them where the Scoob Stacks story began.
Ball State, which is crazy because that's my album trying to too, man. But I went to Ball State and I went for music media production and I just thought I had a perfect idea how everything was gonna go and I went there and it was the
Completely different.
complete opposite, like in a good way, like to push me to be better. Because if I just soared through there, there's no way I would have been who I am today.
And the relationships for me define those college
That's
years for
it
sure.
was
The
though. Like
relationships.
I used to always talk stuff about like how much I didn't learn or whatever I didn't, but that network that's where it started. So I'm at Cairo and
Shout out to Kyle Rogers. Absolutely.
he can't tell the story without Cairo. It's great
cannot. You
because I was really just trying to get out my shell. My dad passed and I feel like I lost all my motor skills. I couldn't talk like that. I couldn't socialize.
Yeah.
I was back to back class president, so it's like I know how to talk and speak, but it's just like I lost it. So I'm like. I need to go out to like these events and like get out there and mingle if I want to be a producer.
Right.
So I feel like I picked a random open mic night and I asked my homies if they was gonna go and I said if they didn't want to go, I still was gonna go by myself.
Right.
And I used to pay homies back in Fort Wayne to come to the mall with me. Like I'll buy stuff. I could not go nowhere alone.
I got you.
So for me, that was like a first jump out the porch. They laughed and like, what the fuck are we gonna go to that for? So I forget y'all, I go by myself.
They didn't understand it.
And I went and I met Cairo on accident. Like he did some he did spoken word. I never heard it before.
Okay.
So I'm like, dang, he up there. It's like he rapping, but he ain't got no beat. Man, that's hard.
Right.
But I talked to him. I had said that I was trying to find 5 artists, give him 5 free beats, and get my name out there. He like, man, you ain't even gotta do that. Like, producers out of here, like, man, you gonna be good. But have you ever been in that before? I'm like, yeah, like church events, Circle City Classic, like with stuff like that. But nah, not by myself. He's like, man, I'm an architect major. Me and my brother was building a studio, and probably about 6 months to like a year, we're gonna open up. So when we open up, come check us out. So as soon as they opened up, he hit me up, and that for me, that was my first time playing beats outside my room in my comfort zone, and the nigga wanted to sign me instantly. So I'm like, it took me 3 times to say yeah, just because on the other side, I didn't think I could be a Ball State school part-time job, driving a hoopty, going back and forth like that. So I just he told me to stay tapped in, even though I didn't want to sign. But he's selling beats for me. I'm in class. I'm getting these PayPal alerts. I'm like, man. But
It's a great feeling.
that third thing, boy, I'm telling you, I'm like, man, I gotta go down there and see. And right before that, that's when I came down and before I signed, probably like a week before that, I had came down and met you at Sam Ash. Ham actually the Guitar Center was dope. It was like, it is, but we met at Sam Ash.
That's right.
So I'm like, man, that was my first time coming. We literally, I came up, we did our business, and then I wound up going back to Muncie, and that was it. I ain't go nowhere else. But I remember getting the studio, I was happy because I'm like, damn, I ain't got to meet at places like Sam Ash or McDonald's. Because like after that, I'm like, okay, I can get money off of it. Like I'm about to like pull up and meet people wherever. I'm knowing that's dangerous. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna just.
I remember that.
Now I can meet at the studio and do it the right way. But I'm telling you, man, I never forget that. I'm like, I pulled up, had the Dropbox. I don't know what that had to be God, because like I didn't know what made me like set it up like that. Like nobody said like set up a wireless link you can send out, put beats in there. It's gonna synchronize to their phone. They can just go through it. They can write to it as many times as they want to.
Right.
And then you come down there, you exchange your full file, and then y'all do business. Y'all do the contracts, and then y'all do the points, the BMI, and all that stuff. So it was perfect, bro. But I just remember from that point, I'm like, okay, that's my first time doing it and making some. Actually, I don't know what I made off of it, but it's like for that, whatever it did, I invested it right back into what it was. Like, and it's always been that from the jump.
That was one of my first times, if I'm not mistaken. And for those who don't really understand the context of what he's saying, I believe I was one of his first artists to buy beats.
He was the first artist.
The first. Okay, so yeah, you heard.
I had a homie in Fort. We was in the same class. Yeah. He bought like a lease, like a little mini lease for one of his projects. Like, he rapped on it, but we didn't like do nothing real serious to it. But that one was like the first business. Like, okay, we got this, we got the contract, we did this. I remember standing outside of code, like I'm pulling up, we waiting for the file to get to your phone. Like I'm trying to make sure everything was 100 from the start. So for me, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna take this shit serious. Like, and I went back to Muncie. I remember we laughed all the way back. Like, man, like I want to do it again and again and again and again and again. Like, not even the money part, just the music
experience.
Like, okay, that gave me fuel to like, okay, if I did it that one time, there was 10 songs. What if I went home, I made 20 beats? So what would happen then?
Yeah.
And from there, I'm like, okay, now I got you locked in. Now you ask for more beats, and I got other artists. I was like, okay, now I got to cook up like dinner 20, 30, 40 a month because like to keep up with stuff.
Them school, what do you call them? Drops or the Scoob Stacks? What do you call them?
What do we call it? Quarters. That was called quarters back then. Like 4-quarter one.
You was dropping like crazy.
It's like that's good.
You would thought you was an artist. The way you was dropping beats was like dropping mixtapes. Like how your favorite artist was dropping mixtapes in the mid 2010s. This guy was dropping beat tapes like mixtapes. And he would have like the promos. The artwork would be crazy, jumping off the screen. That's how I remember, and the sounds was there. And then you had themes, concepts.
Think about it, because you got that passport beat that was in the airport. Damn, that's 50. Tough Flight. I was trying to think of what the beat was talking. Passport was another one, but Tough
Flight was one of those. That's right.
And Ghost of Mandela was another one.
Man, Mandela's Ghost. Yeah. I got the Keith Sweat beat too, but those some of the beats got lost, man. That Let Talk got lost.
And then even there, it's like all I got left out of that era was like, is the Dropbox still there? Like I ain't paid it. They gave me, and how I wound up on Dropbox, they gave me a free 50 gigs. And I'm like, okay,
got the same one.
So they like after 2 years, it's gonna cut off that bullshit and cut it off. I'm like, I'm delete my shit. I'm cool. I ain't paying that. I already got Google and Apple. Like, right.
We want bigger and better things.
But yeah, that's really hot. That was like my first time coming down to Nap, and then like coming to the studio. That's R.P. Bitch, man. He was like the first person to like dance or like move to my beat. Like when I came to the studio, I sampled that El DeBarge, I Like It. And it just had the studio shaking.
Classic.
And bro got up. He like, man, say we would be at skate leg. You know what I'm saying? And everybody got up behind him. And they start, you feel me? I'm like, it's like a movie moment, like everything slow motion. I'm like, damn, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I'm supposed to make people move.
You had that moment.
And then I thought it was for production. Then like within like the last 2 years, like now DJing is like that's even more because like you control the masses of people. That was just a room. It's just like
Well, let's not. Now, you get into a part. We won't get to that part, but you kind of already touched on how you got into Stone Tree. It was through Cairo, right? That's how you got into Stone Tree. So you made that connection with Cairo, and Fort Wayne came down here. The studio that I recorded the So Far Gone challenge was that Cairo studio at first.
that was Writer's Block studio.
Writer's Block. That's right, Writer's Block. I remember that. Okay.
In the trenches.
That's Writer's Block.
And the whole studio was probably the size of Studio A. So like now
I remember that though.
coming to Stone Tree was mind blowing because I'm like, well, shit. I had heard myths of like Quest working here. Like I didn't know he owned the bus. So I got booked. My boy L Dirty AC. I was supposed to have a session with him after this.
Happy birthday, man. His birthday. That's today. Capricorn
He's
brothers.
finna come after here and record some shit. He just announced yesterday we're working on another album. So I was like, well, there it is. I thought I got a break. I was like, nope. Just finished a Woogie project with him. I'm like,
See, hey man, listen, it's like it almost felt like a high school reunion whenever I run into these guys, whether it be at the Mona, we were hooping together, shout out to Wood. And then Dirty, you know, I run into him wherever we at. So
you know, everywhere.
he's everywhere.
Right in Dirty, any damn word.
With the fact that you work with talent is
People.
unlimited, okay?
But yeah, that's he had a show, and I had took a wedding with my best friends, his peoples.
Okay.
And that's what made me buy that table over there. And I had just finished up the night, and we went to the Airbnb. I'm just now getting in the pool and shit. He called me like, man, I was just telling my boy last night that I wish Scoob DJ because I got this show coming up, and I want to hear like player shit, like Larry June, like I'd be a fool to like go out to
Soulful, like Fat with Soul Take, you know.
like any of them think the smooth player shit like smooth niggas listen to. He like, man, I'd be a fool try to go to the now club and hearing this shit. Like I wish Scoob DJ because he listened to the stuff that I listen to.
Right.
It's like nigga, I just finished up a wedding last night. So he like, when you come back up, I got a show. It's for the album that I think I have like 4 out of the 7 songs on there I produced. I engineered the whole project, mastered it, and then he wanted me to close the show with a 30-minute set. Not the part that he performed the album, like finish the show out. So that's what made me come over here. And Quest is the first dude I seen. I pulled up for sound check, and he's sitting on the stoop. I'm like, man, what you doing here? I ain't seen Quest in like 7 years. Wow. He like, man, what you doing here? I'm like, man, I did this for album, this, and then I'm closing out for a 30-minute set. He's like, man, let me show you around, man. So like, you got a little back area where you can, where I can just like practice my set. I don't go on for like another 3-4 hours. He like, nah, I clear a room out for you. Like a room? He like, it's a studio, fool. I'm like, what? He like, let me show you around. So he showed me Studio A. I'm like, damn, like, this the studio? Like, nah, this is a room. I'm like, well, shit, this motherfucker decides to writer's block it? Like, nah, man, I'm telling you so much more to it.
Right.
So he bring me over here, clear this whole room out. And it's crazy, like, we in this room now, but this, like, for me coming in to Stone for the first time, it's everybody get out. This royalty is my first engineer producer I ever signed. This is my boys, my peoples. You can lock the door. Anybody come mess with you. We don't allow smoking in here. I'm gonna let you smoke. Like, this is my little green room for the night. So I remember making a video here. It was like, y'all gotta chill out, man. This is my first headlining show, and y'all give me a room. I'm finna be too bougie. Like, y'all gotta chill out. So from there, it just when he cleared everybody out, he came and asked like, yeah, we can pick up where we left off with writer's block and you know, get back to it because we had lost our building. And from there, I'm like, man, to me, that was smooth. I'm like, that was right on time. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was traveling around the country. I'm like, man, all I thought about was home though. I'm like, I don't have a home studio at home. But the foundation was set from him though. It was the first studio I messed with, and it was just love and straight solid foundation. So now I'm traveling the country, and even before I got to the country, like traveling the city, expecting these things from these people who are nowhere near the type of person that he is.
And not connected like
it just never worked. So I'll always be confused, like, damn, how long last with a studio no more than like 3 months to like a year. So like it's the real foundation and the stuff that go on behind the scenes that you would never know.
No, I understand that as an artist. Another reason why I've been out of album almost 3 years because I need that feeling of home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Some people can just go to any studio and record. I ain't never been there to tell you. I don't know. Man, it makes me bougie. I don't know.
No, I mean,
The vibe I like to create. It has to be
cynically. That's I always recommend it. And the thing is, I don't even tell artists that they have to come and do it with me. It's
But
like,
just in general,
find a home. You have to have a home. Whether it ain't gotta be. And the thing is it ain't gotta be one engineer. You find one studio. The studios that I run, and I'm the person that's the general for the team.
Right.
I'm telling everything. My motto is one band, one sound.
Screen.
Like, we all need to have that same. We gotta. If there's one person coming in, you record with me, and then I'm out of town or I'm on tour or I'm booked in the city DJing,
Right.
and you still need to record, it should sound the same.
Right.
So for all my teams I run, I always tell people one band, one sound. That's our motto. We don't live by.
My favorite movies. One man, one sound.
Why not, man?
So I'm gonna go off script just a little bit because I do have some questions I want to ask you because you have tapped into the DJ and studio life, and we're gonna get into the balance of that. But when it comes to the artistry of music today versus, I've known you 10 years, it don't feel like it's been 10 years, but I've known you for a decade. What is missing in your opinion that's not making music go the way it did 10 years ago? What's missing? What do artists need now in 2020? Well, in 2025 because it's gonna come out next year. Ain't it? So 2025, what do artists need outside of home? Consistency from the sound of the production, engineering. What are they missing that's like the total package to get their music heard among the masses? If you travel the country, what's missing in Indiana?
I feel like what I've learned the most is gonna sound cliche, but that money, like putting the money into it. Like from what I said, when you bought the first pack,
Right.
I went and bought drum packs immediately.
Right.
And from that point, every Friday,
You reinvested.
you just gotta reinvest it and put your money where your mouth is.
Absolutely.
Because it's a new game, and you could get tricked on Instagram thinking that you have to do this, and the game is really in the book, the music business book. So it's like
We all gotta be one of those.
it's a facade. So it's like I heard when my young homies pull up to the studio say the same thing to that. He like, man, I learned that I enjoy putting money into something that's gonna make me more money instead of going off and go fucking it up. And it made me proud because last summer he couldn't help it. So learning and he gets to that point. But for artists, you gonna have to do that just because it boils down to, at first I was gonna say you gotta want it, but that's too cliche. Anybody can just want it.
That's fair.
But that boils point behind wanting it, I learned I can want it all I want to until I put that money behind it. Like I got 3 million ideas in my head and they all sometimes disappear because it's not funded. So I have to run up ways and compound my income to be able to spread my stuff around and be able to hype it up, like to sustain it for a long time. If you want to live off of it, basically. If you just want to do rap and just as a artist and just do it for the art of it, then that's one thing. But if you're trying to grow and live off of it and see big out of it, it's always going to be what you put in is what you're going to get out.
Okay.
So I would say that's what everything missing. Everybody on Instagram and seeing what they think, take it, and I see them come in the studio and they fuck off 4 hours and they get 2 songs done, and it's like because they was trying to look cool. You know what I'm saying?
And wow, it's funny you said that. Wild Style, shout out to Wild Style producer. He just did an interview with Our Create podcast talking about this. How artists will pay for studio time, but won't come in with no songs ready. They'll be nah. Hear you. That's what I'm saying. I know you probably went through this, and I pride myself on coming in with songs ready to go when I come to record. All right. So, but you got people in search for beats. They had to search for beats. They got to write to it. They got to smoke. They got to drink. They got to get the vibes.
Sound like way.
You know what I'm saying? And they're paying for all of this because you're as the producer of the studio, you're getting your money by the hour, however you work it out. And you might get one song done, but you've been there 3-4 hours playing.
That's every day.
I've never been a fan of the
But
I can't stand
what you say about finding at home. If you got a real engineer like me,
right.
I'm pure engineer. I don't do no artistry. So it's like for me, all I gotta do is think about all day is this. So
That's beautiful.
I've coined myself as like the Kobe of the engineers. It's like I'm never satisfied.
Okay.
Like my artists came in, they 4 hours. They spent school 4 hours. High five. We high five everybody. Y'all got 2 songs in it.
That's what I'm saying.
Real shit, bro. Next time, now they got 6 done. The next time,
That's
like
better.
2. So it's like, you feel me? We gotta work on balance. It's like, okay, now I went too hard on them. Now it's like, now 6 and 2 is kind of, that's good, but it's like it wasn't quality. You know what I'm saying? So now we got maybe do 3 hours, and maybe we can get like 4 quality songs done. So it's just finding that. With me, hundreds of artists, and I know what our process is. Sometimes they try to cheat themselves and do like an hour and they get 2, or if they get 3 and then try to go 2, I know them like it's like a kid. It's like, man, ain't enough food for you, man. Like you usually do this and we get this. Like it must be a money thing and you rushing, and we're not gonna rush because it's gonna come back on me.
It's a great segue because we're gonna tap into the balance between studio life and DJ life. How are you managing? I know you're still learning and still developing as a DJ. How are you discovering that balance between the studio life that you live full time and adding the DJ life into that?
I feel like really just planning it and just really just staying on top of like standing on what you feel like, okay, cool, don't hit me up with last week's stuff, don't do this, like having a system instead of like just going with the flow. Because last year, like I said, well, like, man, I just was going through the motions and just, okay, I got a session, I got a booking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and next month, like maybe Friday, Saturday, I don't know, but and then next thing I know, I look up and there's 5 bookings in a 7-day span, and you're like, dang, I thought I was only gonna have like 2 bookings. That's from being just on the fly type, and then you start moving to where October, I'm like, okay, well, I'm done because it's getting cold, and I just don't. It was taking me away from the studio too much, and I feel like I was behind in the studio.
On that.
So I'm like, cool. From October all the way to June this year, I turned down all my bookings and focused on the studio with my artists. And then June, I popped back outside, and now it was more controlled. But I did the same thing with the studio too. Like 2022 disappeared from May to December. Got my mind right. I've seen so much DMs, like comments, all types of stuff. Like people not knowing where the hell I was at. Popped back outside, did that, and been on that run since. Like that was the last week of 2022, and from there I ain't disappeared from the world again. Like just trying as hard as I can not to, but it's like that I needed that for my mind. There's just too much going on.
Yeah, sometimes you need that recharge. And no matter how much people want you to keep going, you're human.
You just gotta say no sometimes. That was my problem. Like, I have nothing else to do in my mind, I'm thinking, or just get the money. And I'm like, nah, you can't make it long term if you ain't got your mind.
You're gonna burn out.
So I say I just had a system, and then really my marketing. It was hard for me last year to post my moves, like the monthly bookings, or like just really the weekly, and then the daily that was easy because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get money for the day. But then I start thinking about it too much. I'm like, okay, well now people gonna see you say like I'm chilling, like you want to chill or something. I'm in the session. No, you're not. The thing say it's open from 3 to 6. Like just putting that stuff, like it just being more open and personal. But once I got over that hump, that was the best decision I ever made. For
Transparency.
It's just like, okay, you got this event, this event, this event. He ain't really just saying he booked as a marketing scheme.
No,
some people like, hey, hurry up so it's gonna feel quick, and ain't got no session booked. So it's like if you see, oh dang, he got Midwest League, he got this, he got that, he got Art of the Park, he got Trees, he got this going on. Like, okay, let me really book this session and do that. Or if I put my daily thing, you see like, okay, he only got like 2 slots for like 2 hours a piece open today. He's smacking. Like, let me book for tomorrow. And because he might be overworked. It's just showing people like what I got going on. So I feel like once I created that system, I start balancing better. So this year I at least knew what was going on, but for next year I'm like, my goal is to know 1,000% what's going on, like everything that's going on. Because there still was moments where I'm like, okay, I'm doing this, but like, what is this?
I got you.
Like, how does this, like, how do I translate this back to the studio? So that's really when I start looking at it as like a triangle. It started making sense. Like, okay, producer, I'm always gonna make beats. That leads into sessions. Sessions leads to being outside. Outside lead back to sessions. Sessions lead back to making beats. So once I start thinking of it like a triangle option, so I'm like, okay, cool.
I feel
Yeah,
this.
you know, that's my mantra. A lot of stuff is basketball based for me and my homies. Like, yo, we
Yeah, I like
explain
that.
stuff. So
Yeah.
for me, once I start thinking like that and then start thinking Kobe based, I'm like, cool. That's it. All made sense. Just don't be satisfied, overwork. I get done with a booking out there. I get done with it. That do straight to the studio, do a 6-hour session, get done with that, practice DJ again, and then go home and do it again the next day. Like, even though you tired as hell, you're like, man, I just for some reason feel like I can still get better.
For real.
I'm not satisfied.
So, being that you're constantly like you're always quenching that thirst to want to get better and strive for greatness every day, what are some of the challenges of running a studio in Indiana?
It's really, I hate to mention it, but it's really it's a race thing. Honestly, it's like I'm telling you, I didn't
Really?
before. What made me leave? My last thing I told my mom was, I can't do it here. In 2019, I'm like, I cannot do it here. I gotta move. I have to go to LA. At the time, I thought I was going to Atlanta. I took a random phone call in LA from the studio out there. Would have been an intern.
Okay.
I went up there just to see what they was talking about. And best move I ever made. But it's like I left because I had one that I helped my homie in Fort Wayne start. That lasted like 6 months. He moved to another location. I'm thinking in my mind, okay, this one don't work. My backup player is to try it out.
Spring flute.
But let me just try to let me try nap out for at least like, I don't know. I just wanted to just invest in my own space down here and just see what was going on.
Right.
So we had 2 and 4, and then that one. That's 3 studios in a year and a half span. I'm like, obviously, I can't do it. So I'm gonna go out and try it, and it worked. But all I thought about was home. I'm like, man, I don't have nothing at home though. Like, I can go to any place I want in the country or just walk in the studio, be me. But when I go home, I ain't got nothing. So it was just backwards. So I feel like that was the number one thing I faced was like, okay, you're trying to do something. They got a conception about you already.
Right.
You innocent as hell.
Right.
You got common sense. You got money that you're investing into it, so you know you ain't smoking in it.
Right,
That's
right,
the number one thing that they start with. It's always weed, then or it's sound first. So you find like your little, okay, after 5 o'clock, we're gonna turn this stuff up from like 5 to like 8 in the morning. Like that's our sounds.
Okay.
And then from there it's the smell, and then from the smell it's like, okay, well, tell them to spray down, and you spray down, and they still say you smell like it, and then well, okay, just tell them don't come high no more. And that's what we'll leave every time. I ain't never been evicted from the spot. We will always leave because it's like, I don't know who I am. I know who I'm trying not to be.
You know what's about.
I don't want to. I don't want to really be black how you think that we should.
You know,
So we'll move around, and it's that same thing. So when I came back, I did it again, and same things occurred. And even the situation now, it seemed like they trying it. You know, like they trying it so hard, but it's just like everything that they complain about, we fix it. Because there's so much more that's on the floor that anybody could ever see. So it's like, those are just the challenges. If you can't get it off the ground and make money off of it, when you make too much of it, it's like they get weird. It's like they don't want to see us. We young, we coming in the building smiling, you know what I'm saying, getting money, nice car, good clothes. Like, we ain't being what you think we would be. And I get that, but it's just like, we ain't bothering nobody. I barely look left or right when I'm walking in the building. I'm walking to the studio. It can't work with nothing else. But it's just, that's the number one thing. But I say, just even that, it's always something. It's just always something, either technological, socially, somebody trying it, somebody around for some money, somebody did something like bad business, or it's so much that can go wrong. But it come, like I said, it come with it. And I knew it was gonna be weird getting into it. I didn't think it'd be this deep that it can go, but it's like I take it on the chin every day, knowing that this is stuff I prayed about when I was like 9 years old. So, like I'm with it. That's all I talked to my grandma before I left Fort Wayne. And she was like, man, whatever is about to happen, bring it on. Like, I'm ready. Like I done did so much more with less. Like I'm so ready for this year. Like whatever it gotta bring, I don't really see. I know how it's gonna go, but like detail wise, I can't really see what it's gonna be. But I just know I win. I always do. I always find a way to win. So it's like, why would another year with more knowledge, more wisdom, more connections, and a good heart, hey, how would that not work out for you?
It's like, how can I lose?
Like, so for me, my main goal was for me to, I'm just looking to three-peat is what I call it. Like last year is the best, I call it the best year ever. This year,
At the end of that year.
and then this next year, I'm trying to do it again. So, like,
Okay, so if this is the 3-piece, so you're saying 2025 be the 3-peat, right? So 2023 and 2024, what made those 2 years what you would consider Scoob's championship seasons? What made championship seasons for you?
I think 23 was,
Break it down for him.
it was branding. I realized, like, okay, cool. A lot of people, oh, why I keep doing it? What's today? All right, bro. I feel like 2023 was more, it was branding. I knew like, okay, cool. The Where Scoober tour, everybody laughed, said that, or just like a joke or whatever,
And you made a tagline.
and just made a whole. It just took it the rest of what it, and or outside of just having the Scooby Doo thing, it was like taking that and branding that and marketing that was the first thing, and then like I said, that's what gave me the idea to start putting my monthly and weekly stuff. Each month had like a book now calendar or promo or whatever, but that was that year. But I still was clueless on what was going on.
Right.
So starting with this year, it's like the first thing I did was a podcast interview the first day of the year. So and I purposely did it because I'm like, I ain't never started a day of the year just like I usually just cook up beats or just like do something that I can I just do. So doing that with what was considered the our main competitors, Azimuth, like that shook everything. Like the engineer or music world was like, what the hell? Like them two sitting down, like those are the two most booked strictly engineers in the city. Like no artistry, no nothing.
Makes sense.
So it's just like from that, I knew going into the year like what was going on. So I'm like, I had that intention from there all the way to tomorrow, the last day.
What it sounds like you understand the concept of you doing the same thing, expecting different results, but sure when you do something different, something out of the ordinary, you're gonna trip the algorithm.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yep. That put me in it for sure. I'm like,
what?
I didn't know about, and then we did the invite collaborators, but it wasn't as detailed as it is now.
Right.
So when I did that, and it's like how much it shook the followers, the seeing the accounts reach go up. It's like I saw that and was like, I gotta keep that in the loop. Like just keep collaborating with people all this year. See, November was the month. I'm like, man, fuck it. Let me just see like what would have happened if I just push it. And it was nowhere near the numbers I was reaching with. It's you gotta have collaboration. Is where I learned. So I'm like,
You hit the hill on there, collaborate. I say that for artists too, because whilst I touched on that too as well. Don't shoot yourself in the foot trying not to collaborate, because there's so much talent in the city as it is, and we'll get a lot farther if we come together versus trying to do it all on your own. Everybody can't do what J. Cole does, make it count to their feet. That I had to throw out there, because J. Cole is 1-on-1. I mean, Kendrick could do it too. So you know what I'm saying? No knock on him either. There's not too many artists that could do that though. So collaboration.
Production. Like I had to tell myself, like when I first started at Writer's Block, I'm working on my first project, and I wanted all the fame and glory myself. And then I collabed with a homie on the project. Like, okay, cool. And then I had a bass player and a keyboardist get on there, and then that get played on Fox 59. So I'm like, would that had hit that?
Had you did it by yourself?
I did it by
probably not.
It's 7 songs that have been just my ideas. It's just been another project. But then I had to look into it. I was like, damn, there's nobody who won a Grammy by themselves, production wise. It's always been a collaborative
team.
It's always a team.
Look at
Just for example, I know he's going through hot water right now, but Puff with the Hitler.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have done what he did in '97 without Chucky Thompson, Stevie J, you know, the guys, Ron Lawrence, you know, those guys. You know, you gotta have some different flavors, you know, different levels of ingredients when you in the kitchen cooking like that.
Because that's what touched people. It's just like, I feel like God too.
Absolutely.
If it's 3 believers that's coming together on a beat, it's like, now how the fuck would you not? Like, I don't know how you would.
Sky's the limit. Literally.
Like 3 people who wanted to, Like,
as an artist, because I want other artists that are watching this to get to see how different producers work in action. So I'm coming to you as an artist. You kind of have an idea of the kind of music I make. And I want to make a tape with you, like say a 5-track EP. What is your process when you sit down with an artist and you guys are brainstorming, like you said earlier, putting their heads together? When you're coming up with a concept or album, project, EP, what are some of the questions you may ask that artist? What do you see? What goes to your mind when you're thinking of sounds? What's your process when you start down on a project with an artist?
I heard this interview from Kobe, and he was saying like how he get in mamba mode, like he'll read or like watch something scary, and it would put him in that vibe. So for me, it's like, or how he said it was like reading the script for like a scary movie to get into a character of that. So right, I
So
said,
like a table reading.
yeah.
Okay.
So for me, it's like our first consultation would be me figuring out where it is you're trying to go with the sound, because there's so many bags that I'm in. Right. So it's like, and I'm weird. I'm a color person, so I'm like, okay, what's a color for a project? Like, what script am I reading? What character do I have to get in? Because it's like 8 knees. So it's like, do you want the dark, scary beats me? Do you want the good Christian, holy, feel good, soulful?
Right.
Get up and let's move the world music, or what? Like, hey,
No,
I have to know what bag I have to get in.
Okay. Because the reason I'm doing this is because we covered all your questions here, so we're good on that part. Now at this point, I want them to see you in action, see how your mind works, right? Because it gives them a kind of a sneak peek on what to expect when they come work with you, right? So you've heard the Don. You have an idea of it. You've worked with me before. So based on those 8 versions of Scoob, obviously, what version of Scoob would fit the artist like Ty Slatter, for instance? Use me as an example.
I feel like I would be able to get back into my soulful mafia bag. It's like more of like a player, gentleman.
There you go.
Clear cut, like smooth, like.
Pay attention. He's doing that producer thing there. Pay attention.
If I had to pick color, it would be black,
Yeah,
or gray, or dark purple. And in my mind, and it is the sound I'm working for 2025. I worked on it all this year. I ain't put not one beat out of it, but I call it jazz drill, is what it is.
Jazz drill. That's the first time I heard like that.
The sound is, and it doesn't necessarily gotta be like, it's a drill pocket, but it don't have to be drill drums.
I got you.
But the main sound of it is like 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, New York, like Harlem Nights type sound. Horns, strings, orchestra. Like, I really nicknamed is detective music is what I call it.
Oh, wow.
So it's like 1920s diners, detective music. He's sitting trying to put together a case in the middle of the night, and it's snowing outside, right? So, and especially with it being winter right now, and I'm in that. So it's just like, sometimes I go outside and I like to get in that bag. Yeah, the imbibe sign that's out there when it's snowing in the winter, and you walk up there, it's like kind of like Gotham City a little bit, like back in the day, the old Gotham with the old signs, the little flashing bulbs. Are just I can get in my bag. So for that one, that would be some of my character stuff that. Okay, cool. I need a 5-pack by the end of this week. Sure. That would be something I could trick my mind into getting into that character, doing that. But if somebody was to say something else, like, okay, I need this, 9 times out of 10 when somebody like the New Orleans beats, I'm like, damn, I mean, I gotta get mad again. I can't use it because it's my therapy. It's like, okay, instead of being mad and go do something stupid, to go to the studio, just work on beats. And then when I don't have nobody telling me what to do, it's usually what's on my mind. So if I'm mad, them type of beats come out. So I'm like, if y'all like them, that means I would, in my mind, have to go look at something scary, like make myself mad or something. If I was thinking of it that way, that it is just something funny, like on that side, because I'm not about to piss myself off to do that. But like for your sound, it's like that's something simple. You can go outside, and walk anyway. So unless it's blizzard outside,
That's fair.
But it's just like, you know, just little stuff to just study and. I've always enjoyed that, even from like the beats from back then. Yeah, I always laughed at the airport sounds and stuff because like I had never flew in a plane before. That was straight, complete imagination. Wow. Like I never heard. I'm talking about from the luggage bag roll.
back playing the whole nine.
Yeah, like the dings, the bells, like I put all that in there, just envisioning what it would probably be like on the plane. And then I finally flew probably like 2 years later, and they're like, oh, that's exactly how I made it. And I listened to the beat on
We gotta
it.
do something about that because that was dope. I have never like, to this day. I don't
But I
know.
remember what sample it was. That's nothing. That was Stevie Wonder. It was off the Higher Than July album.
Wow.
But yeah, I know exactly. I can all the way back to not every beat, but like the certain ones that just monumental ones.
Yeah.
And then the Ghost of Mandela or the Mandela Ghost, that was custom. So it was like, yeah, and these are easily recreatable items. If they not in the drive or the Dropbox area, because ain't none got deleted out of there. So yeah.
Man, because at this point, I mean, I think we covered most of the stuff you wanted to cover. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on that you felt like the world needs to know about Scoob Stacks that we didn't get a chance to touch on?
I feel like I touched on how it was my best year, but it's like I'd say for me, really the main thing, I don't even have to go through everything I did, but it's for me, this was a year where I bettered my sound, I bettered my mind, and I bettered my credit. So it's like, man,
It's all the push.
2025, I'm reaching for the stars. Like I did everything I was supposed to do. I ain't shiced nobody out in the process of doing it. Like I stayed myself. I stayed down. I stayed with the same people I started with.
Man, it's a great feeling.
No matter what.
You could sleep good at night, wake up the next morning knowing I did the Lord's work. I ain't do nothing crazy. I ain't man.
This coming after me. If somebody did this, some foul play for. Like I ain't did nothing. Like I stay out the way and I work all day. But that's really the main thing. I feel like my favorite moment of the year was it was that magazine, just because of the family part of it. Like, shout out Red Prep, man. They came in here. I've told them that I feel like room raiders. I'm in here recording. They came in here, busting here with cameras. You got the thing in the little envelope with the wrapper on top of it, with the little official badge on it.
Yeah.
And could we take them outside? Artists like, go ahead. They first they're like, man, who the hell is this? All these people. So we go outside and I'm like, just standing there, just like, yeah, it's nice. Like, man, open it. I'm like, oh, I was gonna open it on my own time, like later, like away from people, but that's what you hired the camera people for. Let me open it up. But it had been so long. I had been up to Fort Wayne, and all my family had talked about while I was gone was bringing it up to Fort so they could read it and stuff. So I felt like as well as we did. That's crazy. I feel like with the magazine was just my grandma just opening it and reading it, or my grandpa seeing it, and I left it up there. I felt like that's probably like the best place where it should have been, because I'm like, I left it on the desk. Somebody spilled some juice. I put it on the desk. I picked it up. A little piece ripped off on the front. I'm like, see, that's just that wear and tear for me. I'm always on the road, so I'm like, I'm just leave it there and just
kind of like it's like memorabilia.
it's like kind of like a trophy for me.
I was gonna say yeah, it was
It's
like
like-
trophy, but it's a moment.
I sat on I put it out. They read it, and then they put it in the windowsill in the window, and it's just everybody's picking it up, reading it, and they're skipping to my part and reading it, and reading the other people, like asking about who it is. I'm like, that's my artist. Asking this, who? Oh, yeah, I know him, or they know me, or just we met through this. Like that part was like the moment. It's like, okay, cool. Like at that point, I'm thinking I'm not behind, but like I'm probably not doing everything I should probably be doing with this, but it's just like at the same time, when somebody writes an article and there's multiple pages, you got your own section with another good friend
dope.
producer with you, and y'all side by side, and y'all met, and y'all had this dream. Y'all went to the same school. So it's just like having that, you just like, man, I did everything the way I was supposed to. I wouldn't change nothing about my story. Like, that's what, you change one trauma part or take the hurt part out of it, then it's like, you probably don't wind up in the magazine. So it's like, how did you turn the most tragic thing into inspiration that had somebody take the time? I didn't know bro like that. He bought a beat while I was in Cali.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he looked like until he came and dropped the magazine off. I'm like, that was my first time meeting and talk, and the only time I met and talked to him. And that was about 6-7 years ago. So he just always stayed tapped in, and then he made the magazine, and he for sure like showed love. And I'm talking about. I told my grandma, confusing, unbearable amounts of love. I'm like, why are you showing this much love? Like, people don't show love on this, man.
And you know, it's for good reason, because when you do, you typically put yourself in a vulnerable position. But so it's not that many of us out there that are willing to.
Most people that like show love, that's like they know you and experience you. Just like no, like sometimes you make really dope stuff that make people got so much love for you and your thing that you create. But you in your head, you make it every day, so you
don't think that
was not thinking of it. But it's like to somebody to move somebody, it was supposed to be just models, and you and Mac was gonna be the only musicians in there. And then once we did the digital version, people hitting him up doing that. It's easy call. Like I go in charge and make something up this magazine. So that was dope as hell to me. So I was like, that just gave me fuel to just wanted to come back. Like that was like Christmas Eve. I want to get back in the studio. So,
Wow.
but yeah, man. But me on my side, outside looking at giving your flowers, man. Like seeing where you started before, like I knew who you was. You had a legacy on campus. Like without you even being there, I'm like, man, I didn't know that's who bro was. And once we put the dots there, I'm like,
You
man.
don't know how it makes me feel, man. Just knowing that what we did at Ball State for those 3 years that we did it was it went so quick. But just getting that love and knowing that we left our mark, and even seeing my guy, shout out to DJ Master Pill out in LA, seeing what he did, I was his mentor.
Man.
He came in after us, and he went out to LA, and
I know Fry World, right?
That was my first stop. I stopped at LA. Went to his crib and cooked up some beats.
yeah, shout out to Masterfield, man. He came in my sophomore year, and he just wanted, he's like, show me how you guys did the radio, and we showed him the ropes, and he took everything we gave him and ran with it.
And when he graduated, I told him that in LA. I'm like, man, when you graduated, Ball State. I was like, man, it never was the same, but never be the same. No, because he was the third floor party. The what, and he was hanging out with that too. Once everybody left, once Watt down, everybody went out. Rhetoric, and when everybody left, bro, it was done for.
And it's the thing. I'm glad that we left our mark in that moment in time, in all of our respective fields, and even seeing Walker go out there in San Diego and kill the comedy scene. And then, of course, man, AJ, who helped me get over there, Radio 1, and Distinct, Rhetoric still doing their thing. Rhetoric got the lyrics and libations, and Distinct's killing it.
But we getting in the studio in this
the MC's MC, and that's my Capricorn brother too. His birthday coming up in a couple weeks. Birthday literally day before mine.
Okay.
That's really crazy, right? So yeah, I'm honest about that. But yeah, man, it's just seeing what everybody, starting out in those dorm rooms and in the old Follow building that got tore down, and ain't there no more.
Crazy.
And they didn't read it all that around. All gone.
They needed it, but
It was long overdue, but it's like the memories. The memories is crazy.
struggle to PJ.
Ray Clevenger, man.
Woo!
I'm supposed to be on Breaking the Clemens. I'm over here in Knox Edwards.
I ended up in King one after that. I upgraded. I upgraded. After sophomore year, I went in and went to King one the last 2 years. Yeah, it was crazy. But man, Ball State, where it all started, I'm just glad that we were able to maintain those great relationships. And
Sure. And molded this, man. When we are like, and it's crazy because us, like, we didn't play it, so it's like,
Nah, but we had our own.
that's
That was our fraternity. That was our brotherhood.
and we are still connected.
So, being that we are a brotherhood and we are from the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana, aka Nat, what is, from a producer standpoint and a DJ standpoint, what if you were to have an artist come to you and say, how can I make it to a music festival like Treese and make it on those rosters, those selected rosters, what would you tell an artist, or what would you recommend would be that missing piece to get them in front of Treese and other music festivals like Treese?
I say Treese because we're home.
Yeah.
You gotta start at home.
Nah, for sure.
And then you go to South by Southwest and a lot of others.
And that's what's crazy.
What will be your advice to that? Because Treese shit. So
We gotta make a moment.
if you can use
Like it's somebody somehow, some way really the main thing is who you know. That's the number one thing.
Absolutely.
Because this year was my first year going to trees, but I was the help.
This was my second year. Yeah, because I went the last 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to last year at my class reunion for my 10-year. It was the same as her day. And Paris had the biggest set, and I just had did her album with her. When she wanted me on stage, I had to go for my high school reunion.
Gotcha.
But this year was my first year going, and I was the house DJ for Stone Tree. So I'm like, that was for me, it's like right place, right time, who I knew, and the skill set that I had did.
Absolutely.
Like it was. Now I think about it, I was trying to figure out because I'm thinking like, okay, my process was different from what an artist would, but not really. Like I got asked to be the DJ because of everything I had did.
Right.
So it's like keep doing what you're doing every day, record it like you're doing, content, and mainly just I know the people that submit. This year was how I found out how the submission process goes and who actually.
I kind of learned it the first year with Adrian and them, but I think this last
But
year.
even then, there's a hidden white horse nobody knows. I heard her say something. I looked over and said, "What's your name?" We talked. She gave me a free tree shirt. This was music in transit. This is way beforehand.
Right.
So I stayed locked in with her. I stayed tapped in. We talked. Like I post something. She congratulated me, and I got asked to do it from the studio, but them too. So it's just like for them knowing, like, okay, week after week, month after month, you're the most available person. We're gonna ask you to go ahead and do it. But on top of that, it's the submission process for the artist side.
Right.
But I say like, it's funny because I saw like a lot of artists like that was scrambling for like the last second that they
Kind of sense that last
shit to get free. But even outside of that, just submitting music email wise, and just mad that it didn't get nowhere. But I always laugh because it's like I grew up a wrestling fan. It was like when that one wrestler ain't got a WrestleMania match yet or a moment, and they trying to do whatever it takes. Like I'm about to go whatever Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, like whatever it is for me to get there. And that's for me. They called me like a week before that, and I had a week to get ready for it. I'm like, that's my moment. This is it. Because before that was Top View was June 1st, not June 7th. So I was on break till Trees. So after that, I'm like, man, that's my moment. I'm about to go ahead and make a lot of. And now I wouldn't even think about Trees for this coming year. Like, that would be smart to hop on it now.
And it's for art. Though we're gonna put this out at a good time. I want to make sure it's top of the year, and if they haven't already started the process, they're doing any and everything, as you said, but not wait until August.
Yeah. But right now, do the work. You gotta do the work. Like, sad, hungry, tired, you gotta do the work. That's what they're looking for. It's like, from what I've seen who got picked, it's like, okay, like I don't think you kind of won the event, but it's like for what you are, like, and this year was the year they opened it up for the internet. So it's just like, okay, cool. I don't say that you gotta appeal to the internet, but it's like, do you just keep shining, keep posting your stuff? It's gonna be undeniable. And if you do get snubbed, we got people who from the last year got on from this year. You like, okay, now we know y'all heard. Like, so this year it's just like all we heard this year was like, where this artist at, this artist at, where's the legendary street artist? Like, they missing on that. So I feel like if they smart, they'll know for sure. Like, who did we snub out that people didn't pull up for?
Yeah.
Because there was another festival going on that same day, if I'm not mistaken.
Art in the Park.
Oh no, never mind. I did Art in the Park the week after. I was the official DJ for that one, but a lot of them. No, it was the week after, but it was a lot of people didn't come to Trees because they was going to Art in the Park. People who was doing Art in the Park was the ones who was missing out Trees.
Correct.
So I got both sides of it. So I'm like, okay, which it was good. Like that was a great. What I will say was it was more time. It was perfectly time managed. Perfect. I thank God at the end of the night, like, damn, I just want to go see Spitter too, man. I got a 2-hour intermission in between. I just want to work Spitter too. So as soon as they asked me to do, I'm like, damn, I just want to go see Spitter, but like, hopefully I can DJ and go see it. So I got to do that and do my job and get the network. So I was like, yeah, that was my first one. That was one of the best days this year, just because of the. That's when I felt who I was. And then I brought my Fort Wayne homies with me, and they like, I remember hearing one of my dudes, like, I shook up with B Swift, and his girl said, like, yeah, that's a dude from the Patriots Day. And he was like, And that's what I'm saying, man. I'm rocking with him because it's like, and then how many hands he shook today? It's what type of hands he was shaking today? Like, you're ugly as fuck, but like real shit though.
What are
Like,
you saying?
like you shaking some powerful hands, like it's nothing. You just shaking them, you just walking past. I'm like,
That's a big on the radio one now. Yeah, I see. You know, of course, it's the holidays right now.
Yeah.
So people on vacation, but you know, it's on a regular day. I work with Karen Vaughn, Kenny Kicks, Beef Sliff, DJ King. You know, I see these guys literally every day.
yeah.
You know,
And that's the part was like, and these people, like, I can barely see half the time. My fellas, people grabbing me, like, hey.
But the question about Trees mainly because I haven't submitted anything at the Trees, even though because I really just been kind of I don't say I'm hiatus, but just musically
You build it. Like, you doing what it takes to do that.
Yeah.
You come out, you like, okay, why? I work at damn rent, this, and book, and this.
literally like you said to the point of working when you're tired. I'm literally doing R&B right now between my two jobs.
Yeah.
I got the day job and the night job.
And I'm telling you, I appreciate it so much. I'm like, man, that's the grind of going home, stop at home, getting something, checking on the kids, man, keeping them right, man. I salute anybody who Free is like the TGI Free is like to
That's
me.
my guy.
That's my favorite artist and fan.
We have so much in common, it scares me. Like seeing him with his 3 boys, I'm like, dog, I got 3 boys. Like we in the kind of music he makes, I'm just like,
Ain't no excuses. That's why I
crazy.
when I look at him, I'm like, man, I got no kids. If I wouldn't be able to like put money into my career and still blow myself up, because he did the last shot last year, and now that he was on there. Sanitary for Distinct was on there last year, and then the same like now.
yeah.
It's just like, even seeing that. So that is a perfect example. Like from last shot, even if you got to get on there through the last shot opportunity, if you didn't submit and get on there,
Right.
getting that, you're gonna be on next year. And if you won, and now if you follow up the right way,
You do.
even for like now think about it on the other side, the other advice. If you got on trees this year and the year before that, it's more uncommon. Like 3 in a row, like you gotta be him. You feel me? 3 in a row,
You gotta be him.
gotta be him. So like you probably
Streets
comfortable.
3P. That'd be crazy.
Probably
It's
comfortable
possible.
thinking that it's for surely possible.
It's definitely possible.
Because there's some people, if it's 2, if you got 2, then I mean it's like people would have been mad if you got snubbed out the second one.
Right.
So if it's the third one, it's like you undeniable. But you just gotta keep doing the work. Everybody gotta do it. If you got snubbed off this
Put that
year,
out there because that I'm being lookout for that.
I'm saying for myself.
That's
for myself.
That's
I want to
crazy.
do it again. Like for sure, want to do it again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for myself, I gotta keep doing this shit. And the stuff I was telling you, I'm gonna invest in. I want to do it. I did great this year, but it's like I'm gonna do it even better because I'm about to cash the fuck out on this damn table. So I'm like, man, I'm coming from my 2P, but for sure, like I gotta do it again. That was so fun. That was like. Even I kept all the memorabilia, the VIP things, the little brochure with the map on it. It's like I never want to forget that day. Like that was smooth. But that was when, like I was saying, like days of this year when you found out, like, okay, this is what I am to the world. I felt like I was shining that whole day.
Yeah, this shit would definitely step up because I actually did the artist workshop the week of.
Okay.
Just because, like you said, just trying to see what else they got going on leading up to it that can put me in front of the right people. Just see my face. Oh, he was at the workshop. He was this and that. So just
No, that's all it is.
politics of it,
Yeah,
if you will.
that's the main thing, and that's artists who get snubbed off of it and probably get snubbed off of it this year. Like you gotta know it's all politics. Like a lot of people each year, there's always somebody who these end of the year awards and stuff. I'm never on them, and they Scoob, what the fuck they snub you? I'm like, I'm a ghost. Like they'll never see me.
Yeah,
I
true.
can't be mad at getting. I don't think of these lists. I don't care. I'm outside. I don't care. When I choose, and that's what I feel like got me so cool with the DJ community here is. I'm the one that got in from being in the studio. My OG is DJ No, so he showed me the art of getting your music to the DJs, and that's how you get your song blown up. So the DJs already knew me from being in the clubs, showing face, just doing the producer shit. And then now I'm on the other side where you looking across the field, and I'm on the other side. Like I'm at this club, you at this club. Now we scatter, and then we finally get together and we duet something. Like, man, like salute from this to that. But Lex Luthor is my boy Bando's DJ.
Okay.
So it's like my mentor is his mentor, and DJ knew him since he was a little baby. So it's just like all the DJs in the city mesh. They like the real ones is what for what I'm learning. Like
That's fair.
the Mount Rushmore DJs, they all are together. It's like a coalition. They move together. They scattered, but they move together. So a couple weeks ago, we go to the point on Sunday night. I'm like, man, let's just fucking. I'm just go out and just see because all the
go with DJ King, right?
yep.
Yeah, 'cause he's on Sundays, yeah.
He we went for Lex, but
Okay.
that's when they introduced me to King. He like, man, you the little motherfucker having out here tearing the shit down. They saying you and Strict out here fucking shit up. Like me and Strict?
Yeah.
I'm knowing Strict my favorite.
I read the shop. Bitchin' too. Yeah, I see him at the station too. Yeah.
It's like that's my peeps, man. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, I be in the same conversation with them, but one of the DJs was like, man, you should get him the DJ over here, and I'm hurry up, everybody else, I'm like, I already know. DJ No told me how the process go. You can't just walk into somebody's club to DJ, man. They gotta throw you through the ringer first. Like, they throw you through the trench. I love it though, because I'm like, in all reality, I don't care because I'm in the studio, studio DJ. So like, I think I got that respect from them.
It's understood.
You know my name, you seen it everywhere, and every week I got somebody call me out, hey, come to the club, let's talk, let's chop it up. Like, they just want to know what's to it. Like, they keep hearing my name and seeing me everywhere. Like, shit, let's see what the fuck, what's that noise? Then they sneak me on there, like, hey, man, let me see something real quick. But that's really the last few months. It's just been like, well, really the last month of my break. My last show I did was Black Friday.
Okay.
But ever since then, I've just been outside being a fan. Like,
Nah, for
pulling
real.
up, listening to good music, man.
Glad you brought that up because going to Treats the last 2 years, because my first ones ever, I had heard about it. And of course, it shut down during the pandemic. So the last 2 years, being a fan of it, seeing a lot of, like I said, our guys from Ball State, Third Floor, Wood, Paris. I don't think I saw Kitty set, but like Baby Ebony. I'm just naming names. What's your name? Hey, the Sonny. See, I went to LC with Sonny, so I already knew what he could do.
I think
So I hate that his mic situation went the way it did, but he been battling dudes since LC.
Yeah.
So because he was a year ahead of me when we graduated. So yeah, I knew what Sonny could do. I definitely went to go see that. That was major. Of course, then Dead Silence and who battled Dead Silence? Was that Bless? Yeah, I think it was
Yep.
Pope Bless.
I thought Pope did.
Yeah, Pope. Yeah, Pope.
I only saw those
It
two.
was Silence. Those on tour. I think they had this shit. But yeah, so the battle was really good. That's a good. Another thing that they added to Treats that I think was really dope, just for those that love the battle rap culture. The dedication it takes to battle people and
Hell yeah.
to lock in.
Bro be locked in here. Like, that's why I be rooting for him every battle, because I'm like, he'll come in and it's like,
He liked that though.
he'll be on her by the back TV and he'd just be sitting there with headphones on. And it's like, some days, like, he would be over there so many days, like, I would come out the room and I'd be looking over there, he's not there. I feel like he's there. But he would be there that much, just practicing, just rapping his ass off. I'm like, yeah, man, I want you to win. And you basically family. So, like, it's like, I don't really be tied in with a lot of people would be battling and stuff. But yeah, Treese was top moment, and then following up an exact week later at Art in the Park, that was dope as fuck too. It was just the time management for that was terrible. So a lot of artists, that's really the main thing. I never even got to speak on that. I said I would never until somebody tried me, but it was some shit that happened behind the scenes, and motherfuckers was. A lot of artists was getting cut off because so many just jumping and it was just time managers was so fucked. So a lot of people got cut or like they wound up leaving, just getting frustrated. Even though you the DJ and people would come try to bullshit you with playing around and just horse you. So I said some shit, did some shit, and like nothing bad. But it's just like now motherfuckers knew exactly a week later people apologizing. They're like, shit, okay, you was right, bro. Like you not this, and just seeing that I moved like nothing happened. Like nothing ever happened. I just did my shit. I'm back in the studio, and now they seeing like other people still. I'm still going up. That okay, cool. It wasn't your fault. Just like you said, I apologize. It was just a bad moment. I was in there.
I didn't get to make it to Art in the Park, but I did.
Source Wars '95.
Yeah, I heard.
I was like, man, if we can't throw a festival together, we gonna never make it as a city. We can't do a festival together.
That's the thing. I didn't like the fact that, and you allude to it even with that. I felt like the art and part thing was a direct competition to Treats instead of it being something to work together. It was a direct competition
Exactly.
instead of it being a
Like we
unified
could have just.
front.
That's what everybody's saying. Just like,
It
and
should
then
have been
even
unified.
Art in the Park, somebody else is starting an event. I'm trying to think who was that? Because one of my homies vended
Butter, right? Butter?
It might have been Grapevine. I don't know. It was something going on that same exact day, and they were saying like one artist stuff set or something like it was.
I understand why we schedule everything on the same day.
But it's just like that's just the stuff. Like we was talking about the challenges of doing music here in the city, like competition. And people look at it as that, like man, we could just do one big ass.
But like you said, you made that look small because you didn't make a big fuss about it.
I couldn't. But I was like, until somebody tried me, I got receipts on everything. Don't try me, but I'm just like my and it really was my partner because I was pissed off. I'm like, man, I'm finna go to Instagram and talk my shit. I'm like, I really don't want to burn myself out or do nothing bad, but I just know for sure like what I ain't want nobody play with my name. Be like, man, until somebody, all right, done. Just being this shouldn't be. Come on. I need I have to think about it. I can just airdrop it from my TV. Or from my phone. So well, one there.
Yeah, good. We gonna wrap it up. Get your socials on there.
Not for sure.
We got more than enough, I'm sure.
No. I'm so more than enough to go through.
Hell yeah, it's a 31 minute shit. Unfortunately, as much as I love to stay and kick it early, I go home and get my stuff from other job.
You guys should
Change clothes. Okay.
All right now. Damn technology.
See it? Sup? He said that ain't start too much. You shut up.
Say wrap this shit up, B.
Alright now.
Listen, any eggs. So wild. It's like this is a 10-second video. Mark shit. Well then. Screenshot, let's put this into insert. Alright, check over.
Alright, so I want to thank you for taking time out to do this interview with me.
Appreciate you.
Long overdue. Let the world know we can follow you at, man.
You can follow me on all my socials. It'll be Scoob Stacks, SCOOB, stacks like stacks of paper. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, all that. Apple Music, Spotify, under the same thing. So Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you doing this in between gigs and in between time. In the meantime, you feel me? Appreciate it, dog.
Oh, we don't make it back in here, but make sure you follow Ty Slatter on all social media platforms. TySlatter.com. This has been another special episode of Real Talk with Ty here, my man Scoob Stacks, live from Stone Tree Studios. If you don't have a home to record your music, you need to find your way over here. All right, 2025, year to 3-peat.
I get it, man.
Right, like that. We are out.